Beyond the interruption of Hurricane Beryl, the country was already on a trajectory of going into negative growth. The quarter before, immediately preceding Beryl, the country grew by 0.2%.
So you don't get data from places where nobody else can get it?
No, precisely.
So where you are talking from is that if people are interested, and some of those people who are saying everything good, if they want to tell the truth, they could have find it.
Precisely. And if the people who are interviewing them were au fait with the data, then they'll know when they are giving misleading information. For example, Mr. Chung gives a whole lot of misleading data.
Bless up ABR family and viewers. Welcome back to the channel. It's a girl and Isabel Rose, and in this one, residents of Portmore calling for the government to roll back the bill to turn Portmore into the 15th parish. Here in this video also, we learned of some more shocking information as to why they really want to turn Portmore into that 15th parish before the next general election. As well as the PSOJ says data shows that the country is heading into a recession, but the people are not experiencing the effects of a recession. Opposition spokesperson on finance Julian disagrees. Stay tuned for the details at hand. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Notification shout out goes to Celine Browning. Big up yourself, Celine. Thanks for the continued support. Some more update on the whole Portmore saga. We seen the residents them taking to the streets. Big protest down at Gardner House yesterday. The residents of Portmore saying that they want it to roll back unless there's going to be a lot of unrest in the country. They're going to lock down the country. As well as big bombshell dropped on Andre Stevenson last night, where Ian Fitzjackson was speaking on an interview, and Andre is saying that the Labour right them tell him say because Terry Long they're way behind, so that's why they might change up the boundaries. Well, the people them not having it, and the people them wants it to roll back.
Buy your property in Portmore, and then you are not in Portmore anymore. You are somewhere else. If you want to turn Portmore into a parish, we don't have a problem with it. But you can't do it like that. We're living in a democracy, and a few of you in Parliament can't just come together and decide to ram things down the people's throat like that. If you want to turn Portmore into a parish, it should put to the people and let the people decide what they are going to do. Right now, the government is on a roll. It can't go like that. The people have no say. They say they consult. People in Portmore, nobody no say any consultant, nobody no consult anybody over there. They just ram it down their throat for their political purpose. The people need to have a say. It must be taken to the people. Don't tell me about 2020 election, because if you're going to talk about the 2020 election, you have to talk about the parish council election that take place in February.
So you're calling for the rollback?
Rollback. It must roll back, and if it don't roll back, they're going to see the real roadblock. Jamaica is going to lock down, because same way you do this to Portmore, you will be able to do it to everywhere else. It can't work like that. It can't work. Roll it back, take it back, or else.
I challenge the JLP to put on the table, as I've been asking them, tell me one benefit that will come to Portmore as a result of it being tagged or labeled as a parish.
Alan, that Terry Long will stay on as his central MP.
That's the only. Okay. You're a smart man.
I'm telling you what the Labour rights tell me. Them have to get the seat because Terry Long is behind by 1,500 votes. So cutting off
Lakes Pen and Lime Tree.
And Lime Tree, Terry Long will win by at least 200 to 300 votes. So them have to bring it down to a total narrow seat. But if we make it stay on, Raymond Price go and win him by about 1,600 votes, and them cannot make that happen.
And that's what they're trying to resist.
I tell you, the Labour rights tell me The labor rights tell me that is the only reason why them doing it.
As I said, it's a power grab. It's a power grab, a desperate one. But we can't sacrifice our democracy to satisfy the whims and fancy of any individuals or political party. We have come from too far to give up on what we have been trying to build in this country. And if we sit by and allow this to go, austerity won't judge us very fairly.
You can't tell the Prime Minister that he says that he is doing exceptionally great as a leader of this country. And under his watch, development and the economy is fiscally fit. And
well, the people will pronounce on that.
But after last year when Warmington make him statement from this so me never needed no labor right to come out again and say Terry Long they behind in them internal polls. That's why them are concrete it now. When Warmington did don't tell we are ready from day one. Now in this segment as it pertains to our economy, we're seeing the Spectator Index posted on social media. Countries currently in economic recession, and Jamaica heads that list amongst 5 other countries. And we see Kamina Johnson-Smith run out and Fayval Williams run out. Kamina Johnson-Smith says this is incorrect. Jamaica is not in a recession. Now we see the Minister of Finance, Fayval Williams, run out on the Spectator Index and says, Dear Spectator Index, you don't have a recession when you have a record low unemployment rate of 3.5%. Increased business confidence up 13%. Higher consumer confidence up 4%, and when nearly 73% of businesses consider it a good time to invest in our country. Sincerely, Jamaica.
There is no recession. We want to hear a Fayval today. We want to hear Fayval today, Jamaica. I could have said Fayval this. Listen this.
Now to the details. Finance Minister Fayval Williams says data to be released by the Planning Institute of Jamaica later this month will show that the economy declined in the December quarter last year. That would mark 2 consecutive quarters of decline in gross domestic product GDP, satisfying the textbook definition of a recession. But Minister Williams says that should not be interpreted as a true gauge of the health of the economy.
If you look at what PSOJ has already published, they are expecting that the December quarter would be a negative quarter. But again, if you read what they write about it, it's driven by weather-related events. You're not seeing a significant increase in unemployment. You are not seeing weakened business confidence. You're not seeing weak investment, and which are some of the things that would accompany a true recession. You're seeing the economy that has gone through significant weather events and moving into a recovery phase when you look back at the data.
In the July to September quarter in 2024, the PSOJ said the economy contracted by 3.5%. Minister Williams says the low levels of unemployment, complemented by positive business and consumer confidence, point to an economy that is shaking off the effects of a severe weather event last year.
So their estimate is also that you would see a negative in the December quarter, driven by these significant weather events as well. That is not a business cycle contraction. And we saw in the December quarter the measurements that came out for consumer confidence and for business confidence. The headline was business confidence surged up 13%. Consumer confidence up 4%. And 73%, nearly 73% of businesses think it's a good time to invest. That's not the environment you have if you're in a true recession in a country.
Now let us define what recession is. So a recession is the decline in growth of an economy in 2 or more consecutive quarters. And the fact that Jamaica has recorded 0.08% growth according to, data as well as some 3.5% by statin, corrected the whole decline of 2.8% where the Planning Institute of Jamaica did give. It's 3.5%. And me here said it's a quarter year from November come right down. It is not looking good either, and we are waiting for starting to drop that data no later than this month end. So what is this finance minister running out to speak about when them don't even understand economics themselves? But anyway, the PSOJ run out as well, and it says that the data is showing recession, but the people are not feeling the effects of a recession. And Julian Robinson disagrees with what he's saying. Take a listen.
Honestly, I'm not sure that we are feeling that in the country. I'm not sure that when I look around and I see unemployment at 3.5%, the lowest it has ever been, when I see our dollar being stable, when I see some of the indicators, when I see the level of investment that's coming to us at the PSOJ, when I see the level of new companies coming in, I'm not sure how it is affecting business, to be honest with you. And I can't say that it is not. And that is what we at the PSOJ are focused on. How do we grow the size of our economy? It's simply too small, and we have got to increase its size by starting to export more. And we have got to do so through our special economic zones and getting investors here into the country to find a way to start to sell our goods and services and our value-added products to people in other countries. As far as I'm concerned, that's the simple, that's the key. That is the key to unlocking our lack of growth over the last 50 years.
But Madam Speaker, beyond the interruption of Hurricane Beryl, the country was already on a trajectory of going into negative growth. The quarter before, immediately preceding Beryl, the country grew by 0.2 of 1%. In the quarter prior to that, it was 0.8 of 1%. Since our recovery from COVID, which was strong, we have been on a decelerating path of growth. So we are within the context of a recession. We are within the context of close to 50% of Jamaicans identifying themselves as being food insecure, 55%, who cannot eat enough. The calculation of what the nutritional supplement per day, 55% of Jamaicans say they cannot afford to eat properly.
It's disturbing to me that the government underspent its capital budget by $19 billion for this financial year. The last financial year, they underspent it by $9 billion. And there's a direct correlation between capital expenditure and economic growth. And within the context of the budget for last year, $19 billion represents just under 20% of the capital budget for central government, and the public bodies are another $75 billion. So if you're not spending the money that you have to spend, the government itself is contributing to the negative economic situation that we have, in spite of the external challenges that might exist.
Why people want to blame us, Ralston, when we put these things on the table?
Because they are in denial, and the longer they stay in denial, is the more the country is going to deteriorate, and is the more we are going to see all these conditions that they wring their hands about, not knowing that these are the factors that are driving them. They are in denial.
You've been saying it, and a lot of people question when you talk, but they question without the numbers. What do you say to those people?
Well, I'll tell them that they must get the numbers, because you can't analyze anything rationally or properly without the numbers. They are dealing with emotions and party affiliations. We're dealing with data and Jamaica. That's the big difference.
But them say you're PNP, Ralston.
Well, whatever they want to say, there's no PNP data or JLP data. What they want to do is to create PNP data and JLP data. Data is data, and it's data that determines if you make good policy. All the good countries in the world that are doing well, their decisions are data-driven.
Where do you get your data from?
The same official sources, the Planning Institute of Jamaica, the Bank of Jamaica, the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, the IMF, the World Bank, the US Federal Reserve Board, the European Central Bank, the Bank of England, the Bank of Japan, the People's Bank of China, all of those sources.
So you don't get data from places where nobody else can get it?
No, precisely.
So where you are talking from is that if people are interested, and some of those people who are saying everything good, if they want to tell the truth, they could have find it.
Precisely. And if the people who are interviewing them were au fait with the data, then they'll know when they are giving misleading information. For example, Mr. Chung gives a whole lot of misleading data.
PSOJ can't talk about what them don't know because them are a part of the problem why our country in our state we're in right now. Them support all kind of slackness. So them now go feel the effects of it. And that's why all the time I have to big up Ralston. Ralston saw these things coming from day one. He predicted all of these stuff because them man they study the numbers don't lie. But because them don't know where to go get the data, as Ralston say, them come and them spew all kind of nonsense. I want to hear from the ABR family on these two issues when we raise another video here. And tell me your honest opinion in the comment section. Like, share and subscribe to the channel. Get this video to at least 3,000 likes. Stay tuned for more videos and more updates. Big up on yourself. Happy Friday.